But that's line 365. When we go to iHeart, no. She said she heard us say kilo. Okay, something is picking something up. She's like, I heard you say kilo. She said we're picking some video. I think it is a video. How about we do this? At breaks, just turn off the video so we can figure out what it is that's picking it up. Let's just cut it off and then come back when we come back. Or can you cut off turn off the audio but leave the video still going? Yeah. Just do that. I encourage you to go to our website, wgsjvcradio.com, and via live stream, you can click on that link and check out what's going on in studio, as well as click and listen live via Live 365. I make this real easy for you. If you just go to the Maya Akai Show the Facebook page, or even my website, actually, you just click on the links. They're all right there. I made it just user-friendly, so you can just go that way and listen to the show. We are in the Healthy You segment of the show, and we're specifically talking about, with so many options out there from health and fitness, one of the key things that people often have questions about is, I want to be green, but are these cleaners really disinfecting my home?
Right.
And I got this from Yahoo Health. They spoke with Bruce Bloomberg, who's a biologist at the University of California, Irvine, but he's also part of a group of environmental health scientists that formulates green, chemistry to create these products. And he said, a lot of people just are confused about what's safe, what's not safe when it comes to truly disinfecting their home. And he's like, one of the number one things that people, we talked about this before the break, have questions about is bleach.
Right.
It's one of the cheapest things you can buy, and it's one of the best disinfectants out there, but it's considered to be toxic. And one of the things you have to be able to do is dilute it, and most people, he said, don't do that.
I don't do that.
So you should never just use straight bleach. You really should dilute it.
What's wrong with it?
Well, because it's considered to be, I don't know what you're doing wrong.
I mean, it's toxic. See, now I'm like, is it gonna clean the same though?
Oh yes, because it should be a 1-to-1 ratio. It kills bacteria. He said the key thing about bleach is it doesn't leave residue on the surface. Meaning, once you clean with bleach, pretty much it's going to evaporate out, which means if you put something behind it, it then doesn't pick it up. Right, it then doesn't pick up like something like meat or something on that surface you just cleaned it with. He said that's the really key thing that is good about bleach is that he said, but be mindful of the uses of it. He said it's better to use bleach to sterilize like drains in your kitchen. If you have a dirtier spot where germs can proliferate, like a countertop.
Yes. He
goes, it's better used for that. He's like, it's more a disinfectant of surfaces. He goes, so if you're going to use bleach, just be mindful and more specific. Like actually, when you pour bleach down a drain and you put water behind it, it's one of those things that can like deal with like drain flies, odors coming out your drain, stuff like that.
Yes, that's what I use it for.
Yeah, he said it's great for stuff like that.
Pour it in the sink.
Killing bacteria.
Okay.
Now, if you're pouring it down the drain, his note is you don't have to dilute it, just turn the water on behind it.
Okay.
And that'll take care of it. He said another key thing that often takes people down the wrong path when they're cleaning is that they always think about fragrance.
Now, Maya, there's one thing that a lot of people don't know about bleach.
Mm-hmm.
When you have mold in your home, do not put bleach down.
No.
That is food to mold.
Yes, chlorine.
And Home Depot is telling people to use mold when their homes flood.
Use bleach.
Use bleach to put down when your basement floods.
Mm-hmm.
That's a no-no. There's a product called microchromosome.
Yes. Yes, bleach and mold, not good. It's because bleach is actually chlorine. Now, and so for instance, when you shock a pool, that's like concentrated chlorine.
Yes, it is.
That kills bacteria.
Yes.
But mold is different.
Right.
So that's why bleach is not. And actually, if you have a flood, I would tell you to actually advise somebody on that because there's different things you're dealing with. It's not your typical bacteria, especially if you had a sewer backup. That's different. And you should always consult with somebody a bit more of an expert on that to make sure you truly disinfect that. I mean, that's a little different. But you're right about that. It's not a good thing to do. So one of the things that they also talked about in this article this, but they won't be, it's not too concentrated. He's like, the problem with some fragrance, products is that they have EDCs in them. He goes, and for some people, that can actually agitate their allergies.
Okay.
Because you want to avoid EDCs, endocrine disruptors, he said, because fragrance can actually, if you have asthma or just high allergies, heavy fragranted products can actually agitate that more for you.
But I like my house to smell good.
Because smell is equated with cleanness.
It is.
It really is. But he said fragrance to be minimal, because that doesn't mean it. He said fragrance doesn't mean something is a better cleaner.
Oh, I probably agree with that.
But people love Fabuloso, and guess what?
Yes.
It don't disinfect nothing. It
does
good.
not. It just smells great.
That's it. And it lasts for a minute. That's
Yes.
it. So he's like, be mindful that don't confuse fragrance with being clean, and just be mindful if you're a person with asthma or allergies that you need to go easy on that. Now he talked about the plant-based cleaners for less contaminated areas. He goes, if you have minimal issues in your house and you're not dealing with toxic stuff, he said the plant-based stuff is really good because what it uses is like. He said a lot of detergent-based cleaners have ethanol alcohol from corn syrup, which I thought was crazy in there, and preservatives. He goes, and that's what creates more irritants. He goes, but more plant-based things are more natural.
Okay.
He goes, so if you have limited disinfecting in your house, he said plant-based disinfectants are just fine. Now, I think that's different. Like if you're a single person, you probably can minimally disinfect. Say you have kids, they're like walking germs.
They are.
If you have pets, a lot of germs.
Yes.
Anything, if you do a lot of outside and tracking in and out, he said plant-based may not be good for you because you need more of a disinfectant. He goes, but if you don't have that kind of traffic in your house, then you don't have to invest in, plant-based things or heavy cleaners. So he said, just be mindful that plant-based is based upon your needs. Now, another old school thing he talked about is homemade vinegar solutions.
Vinegar will work on anything. I mean, vinegar is key on anything. You can put and lemon. Vinegar and lemon, you can clean anything with that.
He said that pretty much the recommended ratio is 1-to-1, so like a half a cup of distilled white vinegar to a half a cup of water, or a 2-to-1 ratio if you have more of an acidic vinegar.
Okay.
Because there's different types of vinegars. He goes, so it depends on if you get more of acidic one, 2-to-1. If it's just basic white vinegar, 1-to-1. So half a cup of water, and then use that as your cleaner. And he said pretty much it's known to be an active disinfecting agent, but the jury is still out depending on the concentration and what you're using it for. He said straight vinegar will not kill a lot of bacteria. Just be mindful of that. So even if you think, I'm just going to increase the amount of vinegar in the solution, he goes, it's not. It's just the old school remedy. He goes, it works if it's a basic, simple cleaning solution. He said, but that's not really the answer.
That you're supposed to pour that in your iron.
Yes.
And it'll clean it keeps that gook that comes out and cleans your iron.
Another key thing that he talked about in this article in Yahoo Health, this is Bruce Bloomberg, who is pretty much a environmental chemist that creates different cleaning agents that are more green oriented. He's from the University of California, Irvine. And I think this is key. When people clean, I think this is the one element, Nikki, they don't think about. Be mindful of porous surfaces. Be careful. Are you cleaning a countertop?
Right.
A tub, a floor, is it wood? You need to be mindful of your surface. He goes, green cleaners are sometimes a problem when you have a more porous substance. He goes, and here's the thing you got to be mindful. If you're using bleach or vinegar or very high toxins, and you put them onto a porous surface, the porous surface will maintain that. So if you come behind on your counter and put some food on it, now it's going to absorb that. He said, so you got to be mindful. A lot of the cleaners or toxics don't dissipate like they should. He goes, that's why bleach is number one, because it evaporates very quickly. He said, so say you're using a mixture of a Clorox cleanup. Not saying it's bad, but be mindful of your surface. And what's interesting, if you read most cleaner guidelines, they even note porous surface. They talk about leave on for this long to truly disinfect and wipe down this way. Here's the problem with cleaning. Most people spray and wipe it off. In that case, you haven't really cleaned.
Right.
Because they'll tell you it may be 99% killing a bacteria, but it usually has to sit on the surface for a little bit of time in order for it to really work. So if you really want to make sure you're cleaning right, use as instructed to make sure you're getting the full benefit of the cleaner.
We talk about this all the time. Who reads this? I don't read instructions on anything.
Okay.
I've never read an instruction on the back of a cleaner unless it was something I was unfamiliar with.
Right.
And I'm like, but other than that,
he said that's one of the biggest culprits is that people don't take the time to actually read the label. So hence, if you spray it on and wipe it off, it really has not worked according to. It may clean 99% of the germs on there. Like for instance, if you use a disinfectant spray, like a Lysol or something like that, generally what will happen is you don't wipe that off. Whatever you spray something down with different disinfectant spray, you spray it, you leave it, you walk away. Hence, it's given all that time to have all its active ingredients work because you're not wiping away. Right. But if you're using a spray cleaner or something like that, then it needs to be on longer to be more effective. So it was a really good article, because what that article really did was talk about clean, being clean versus being green. And it really comes down to what's the need in your household. Is it just you, or do you have kids, pets? There's different needs.
I need the bleach.
And actually, bleach is very cheap. Of course, it'll bleach your clothes too. So make sure you're cleaning in white.
Right.
Otherwise, you just ruin some clothes. But he said it is one of the most effective cleaners when used properly. So I'm going to post that to my page, because I thought it was a really good article that tackled. I know we don't think about cleaning, but like you walk into a store and you have like 50 million cleaning options.
You're so overwhelmed with cleaning products. I mean, they're different wood cleaners, and they're different scents, and they're different. It's nuts. So yeah,
and people instantly are attracted to things that say like 99%, disinfectant, which most of them are, but it's based on the usage.
Sure.
And so green cleaners are coming along. People do prefer them because it's less toxins in it. It's better for your allergies, stuff like that. But sometimes they may not be what you need, especially if you have a lot of high traffic, or even pets, or leave your windows open. Believe it or not. Those are times you've got to be mindful of those areas that you clean.
Yes.
Even how you clean, like using a towel or a sponge. Sponges are the biggest like bacteria. It's like a party on that sponge.
Yes, it is.
And most people you find will reuse a sponge repeatedly.
I throw them out. I use them for a while, but I know people who like, this is the same sponge from 2-3 months ago. Yes, I'm like, no, you're supposed to throw that away. Every week you get a new sponge. Is a week too long? We should look at that.
It depends on what you're using it to clean.
I just wipe the counters and that kind of thing.
I would tell you, you're probably better served using like either those cleaning cloths that have repeated use that you can rinse out in hot water, or you can, kind of, because it's less porous than the sponges, which means it's not going to harbor bacteria the same way. Or something I recommend people, if you really want to stay on top of it, is like use like the Clorox Cleanups wipes or the Lysol wipes.
I have some.
It's one and done.
It's
one and done. And you throw it out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just that kind of thing that's key about what you're cleaning with the surface. I think sometimes the cleaning wipes are just a better way to go, but the sponges, avoid that, because they are like just bacteria.
You just can't hang on to it forever.
No, you can't.
You can use it, but you got to hang on to it.
If it starts turning brown on you, you need to throw it out.
Yeah.
Especially washing. People will do that to wash dishes. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dude, you see that?
Yeah.
That's nasty. You just cleaned it off, put a germ back on it. But honestly, as humans, we are designed to deal with bacteria more so than anything.
I think we are.
We are in contact with bacteria.
Because we would be dead by now. I know I would.
Oh yeah, we are designed to deal with germs. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, it's just in a world where you have cold, it's like cold and flu season is when it's the worst. When you want to be really super mindful about that, spraying down doors and phones, and especially if you've got kids.
Remote control,
right? Remote controls, because they're just like in contact with other kids all the time.
That's a breeding ground.
It's a breeding ground for germs. Or even like I said, pets. You take your pet out for a walk, but they track back inside.
Right.
So you just want to be mindful of that kind of stuff. So
good deal.
It was a good article. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I thought it was a good breakdown of talking about traditional cleaners that people like to use versus being green. I think even though that's what he develops, I think that Bruce Bloomberg did a good job of giving balance in the article. I'll make sure that's posted to the Maya Akai Show page on Facebook and Twitter, so you can check it out.
Yeah.
Get an extra read. Okay, another article that I'm a big Yahoo fan. Can I just say that? That HuffPost, because they always give you interesting take. This is so funny and so wrong, but it was interesting. And I'll be curious what you think about this. And if you've got thoughts, 708-223-0030. Or get social with the show at the Maya Akai Show via Facebook and Twitter. Or you can always find Nikki Braden on Facebook and Twitter. Just Google her. Or, hey, she's IGing. She's an Instagram girl.
I am.
The Nikki Braden. You can do that. So here's what's key. Yahoo had this article, and I thought this was interesting. And it said, are real guys really getting tested for STDs?
Okay.
First of all, I was like, is that a trick question?
Are they getting that's the question?
I was like, is this a trick question? Are real guys getting checked for STD? I don't know, because part of what this went into was, okay, do people take a perception of this and take it the wrong way? So they're saying in this new era of, I guess you can say, sexuality being flexible and open or whatever, that it obviously is important. But the question on the table for some people are, well, why are you getting tested? Not so much what was the result, but why are you getting tested?
No, because you're supposed to.
So the question is, the article posed, it starts out saying, are you really trying to be a sexually responsible person? Beyond just using protection. It says, do you bother to this is what's funny. Do you ask your potential new bed buddy? I said, oh, Jesus. See? We're going to lie right there. Right there, we're going to lie. Bed buddies. Yeah. Not buddy, but buddies. He said it was plural.
That's why you got to get tested. You got buddies.
That's the first thing.